Alright guys, this is looking at the wideband 2 from Dynojet. So this unit I got from, well, I got it on the used market, but this one comes from Hard Racing. And I have a Power Commander 5, and it's convenient because I used to do a lot of tuning specifically with a narrowband data logging setup. I'd go through, review the maps, and from throttle percentage to RPM, I would go through, check the cells, adjust my fuel map from there, and then it was just an ongoing thing. Well, this is going to make things a little bit easier. Like I said, I got this for a really good deal, and hopefully it will make my life a lot easier, considering I already have an upgraded injector and a different intake setup altogether. So that being said, as you can see, there is a comlink cable set up right there. There's a main harness set up. This main harness has 2 grounds, and there's a power cable or power line. There's also a connector specifically for their gauge setup, because you can buy a gauge, which I don't have that mount. I don't have that, so I'm not too worried about it. So realistically speaking, all you really need is the one green wire, which goes to the front, and that green wire essentially intercepts the signal wire from your O2 sensor, and allows for closed loop tuning. We'll go over that in a second. 2 green wires you pretty much put together, or sorry, 2 black ground wires you put together, and you'll have them here off your main battery. This is the only part I didn't really like, is that it uses your fuse for tapping into power, and it has this these basically like clips that your fuse goes through, and it draws power off of accessory power that way. So I end up having to drill a hole through here, because on the RC390 it uses a rubber version, but as you can see, that doesn't really exist with this, so that's kind of what I had to do. Anyways, Power Commander, I have that mounted here. That communication cable I was telling you about that loops in, connects to the Power Commander. Now, for this unit, there is a second harness, and you can see the wires back there. I'll zoom in. Those actually go to the O2 sensor itself. They're soldered wires, and they go through the slots, kind of like what you see right there. You undo them. There's a membrane inside. Slide the wires in based off of the wiring diagram chart, and you'll tighten those down. Just don't tighten the crap out of those. Those are tiny. You don't want to break anything. Fairly easy. As far as wire routing, I have mine going through here. Mine's mounted here. Keep in mind though, I have a different filter, which is down here. So wiring comes down through here. I have it coming through here. Here is the main O2 sensor wiring, and I'm just gonna route that through, and then I'll have it mounted. It's already mounted here in the pipe. The great thing is, this is my aftermarket wideband. The great thing about this sensor is the fact that and Hard Racing talks about it, because they have a pretty good video, but it mounts directly into the factory O2 sensor location. So that's awesome, because you don't have to get an additional bung welded in or anything. It comes with another bung. I use that on my narrowband O2 sensor. This is the part that some people may or may not like, or they may disagree with the way that this is done. Apparently you can get something to help eliminate the cell light, but in order to get this set up correctly, the factory O2 sensor still remains in place and plugged in, because the ECU is expecting to see that signal. And so the O2 sensor plug is here, and you actually end up cutting the signal wire from the O2 sensor. This is the tap that comes with the kit. And then This is the green wire that goes to the main harness. So you plug into that wire, and it basically allows for the power commander unit to send all the signals to the ECU and allow you to adjust the closed loop portion and basically auto tune those cells. But you have to keep the factory O2 sensor. I have mine routing up this way with the wiring, and it comes up top, and I have it zip tied in a pocket up here and right there. And I went ahead and put the bung on top to kind of act as a heat sink, and it just sits there. And that's pretty much where it's going to reside until I can find a solution. And like I said, I want to say there's a plug that you can put in here that kind of spoofs it. It's like a dummy plug. I'm still looking to figure out which one it is exactly. I haven't been able to find out. So that goes there. And then, like I said, this is the green wire. And then you have this main harness. That'll go to the front. So at the end of the day, the question is why would somebody want this? It's pretty easy because, you know, depending on what you're doing, you can set your cells and say, I want X cells to be tuned to whatever air fuel ratio. It'll go through, make those adjustments, but you have to go through and accept those adjustments. Once you've done that, it will basically repeat the process. And it's a constant refining process. That also uses a wideband. That sensor is a wideband, which is far more accurate than a narrowband. So you're going to get way better air fuel ratio control. Where I'm at, I don't think I'm not even sure if there's any motorcycle dyno facilities around here that do custom maps like this. And honestly, as much as I move around the country, it's not something I particularly care about anyways, just because, you know, I got this for an insane deal. So that's pretty much it. It's fairly easy to install, and once you do get it installed, there is some menus that you'll have to go through the Power Commander software in order to set up. Once you've done that, you are pretty much good. And then we'll do a quick look at, excuse the garage, it's a little messy at the moment. It's been pretty hectic. Current setup, finally got everything back together. So soaked clutch plates, got those thrown back in, and then went ahead and got everything timed, rotated a bunch of times, made sure that was good to go, and she's looking good. Not too bad. So as I mentioned before, I did have to reshim it. I guess that wasn't too much of a surprise. Reshimmed. Do I have that paper card before? Yeah. So this was my diagram I was kind of working with. You can see was making a bunch of adjustments. So reshimmed everything with the new valves. So new valves, titanium retainers, and you know, reshimmed all that stuff. Manual chain tensioner, checked all that. New head bolts, new high compression head gasket, and then had to replace a couple other things. If you ever take these off, good luck. Chances are they're going to strip. That's what happened to me. I had to order new bolts and a new one of these because I had to drill it off. And then yeah, I mean, that's about it. It was fairly easy, and hopefully I'll get everything slapped back together and good to go. But next video that I do, you should hopefully see it running. That's it for now.